Here's a fun fact. Did you know that the 8-hour workday was pulled out of a hat? There was nothing about it that was even scientific, nor any thought put to it. They just simply plucked 8 hours out of thin air as the consideration of a full-time work day. Before that, of course, you had the industrial age where people worked 12, 16 hours in a day, sun up to sundown, but that's how everybody worked. That's farmers and people who worked in the city in factories. Thank you for watching the Chicago Live Show. So, I reported a few weeks ago that there is a movement growing to silently resist the Obamacare law, that you have to sign up, although it doesn't make sense that you have to sign up. I don't know why they signed that into law that you have to sign up, and the means of signing up is on a website when less than 50% of the population in the United States of America have computers in their homes. Unless they're going to start handing out computers, the law simply needs to be repealed, because you cannot exercise the letter of the law. And the court has held in the past that you cannot have legislation which cannot be followed. That is repugnant on its face. So you can't have a law that says you must walk on water. It's an impossibility, so the law is nullified. So, with that, as I reported before, there was a silent movement to resist Obamacare by not signing up. So now there is a national no signing up for Obamacare movement openly going on. So, no longer do you need to be silent about it and not do it, but you can vocally tell your friends, neighbors, relatives, do not sign up for Obamacare. It will fall on its face all by itself. There is nothing that Washington can do to try and make the legislation a success. It is terrible, and it has nothing to do with health care. Let me say that before people get confused. A lot of people are still confused and think it has something to do with health care. Telling Americans that they must do something, that it comes out of your pocket in order to do it, was the only thing that the administration and the Democratic Party, who voted for it, not the Republican Party, who, to a man, nobody on the Republican side voted for it at all, which is pretty miraculous when you think about it, that they simply wanted to see, could they pass a law and you follow it that made you do something and spend your money a certain way on something so obviously unconstitutional as the Affordable Care Act. Anyway, it is out in the open, a national movement, no signing up for Obamacare. It will be repealed without even having to call your senator or your congressman. Simply don't sign up for it, and make sure you tell your friends, relatives, neighbors, and everybody you meet. It will fall flat on its face. It cannot exist because they have paid money into this and hired people to take calls and all this sort of other stuff, and it will fall flat on its face because you can't have a funded agency that does absolutely nothing. At some point, the director is going to say, why am I here? And I have examples of those in the past. If you want to inbox me or talk to me on Facebook or talk to me on Twitter, there are agency heads who have been censured and they resigned. They simply resigned because they said, I can't do anything, so why am I here? And they left. And that's exactly what will happen with the head of Obamacare specifically. I'm not talking about the Health and Human Services. She won't go anywhere unless, somebody assassinates her or she, overstays her welcome or something like that. She will never leave on her own. Anyway, National Resist Obamacare is out in the open and is a total national movement. Thank you for watching the Chicago Live Show. Tell me what you're going to do instead of signing up for Obamacare. Remember, there are other options still. Even in the face of Obamacare, there are other options. You can look up in your city to find cash pay doctors. They are much, by an order of 10 times cheaper than on all medical procedures than insurance ever was. The entire insurance thing for every little thing was not sustainable, to use that horrible word, was not sustainable in any sort of sense of the word anyway. So you have concierge doctors, that's what they're called, who will take cash payments for their services. And it is affordable for even poor people to go to such doctors for stuff. So look that up. There are other alternatives. There's other private doctors, and there are some hospitals who don't take Obamacare at all. And they also have alternative means and options for payment. I don't believe they accept insurance either. So you have other options. The reaction to Obamacare has been swift. You understand that the only doctors that supported Obamacare was the AMA, the American Medical Association, which is less than 10% of all the doctors in the United States. There are other organizations out there. The liberals and Democrats love to throw the AMA and the American Medical Association in your face because it sounds so official and it sounds like every doctor belongs to it, but they do not. Absolutely not. So I just wanted you to know that there are options. You don't have to throw in the towel or give up or think you're going to die, because you do have options, and they are absolutely far more affordable than anything that you've ever seen before. Concierge Doctor, look it up. Thank you for watching the Shikama Live Show.